Hello friends, the Champions League is back. There are so many great games to look forward to, and one of them is PSG taking on Bayern Munich. Join me today as we head to the tactics board to discuss how this match might play out. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it with a like and subscribe if you haven't for more content like this coming very soon. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well. You don't want to miss what's coming up in the near future. But now let's preview Paris Saint-Germain taking on Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Here we have both teams, PSG on the left and Bayern Munich on the right. When we look at this PSG team, we have them in a 4-4-2-ish, but it's far more flexible than a 4-4-2. It's nowhere near as rigid. We have Pereira as the central defensive midfielder. We have Verratti and Ruiz almost as holding central midfielders, allowing themselves to go forwards, drop back and be that defensive unit if they ever need to. Then we move forwards and we have a look at Vitinha, who is in this side to be their central attacking midfielder. They're really link-up play. Verratti will look for him, Ruiz will look for him, but he can also make darting runs past the two strikers who are in this side. And who are they? Well, we know them very well. They are obviously Neymar and Lionel Messi. Kylian Mbappe, I do not think will be risked for this game. He's getting very close to coming back from injury, and I don't think that throwing him into the deep end in this match is the correct thing to be doing. I do think they'll give him a little bit more time. I do think they'll give him a little bit of breathing room. He'll probably be on the bench and probably make some kind of impact. However, I don't expect him to start. Now, how do PSG play? Well, they like to gain possession and gain momentum in the game, and that's through the fullbacks really making some driving runs up and down the pitch. Hakimi is a questionable one due to fitness, but I put him in the side because I haven't heard anything else as of yet. We have Verratti, who likes to pick up the ball and make sure that he's able to offload it very quickly to Vitinha and Ruiz, who is also able to play his own channel passes and pick up pockets of space. When they move forward, you can see the two forwards here, but they don't necessarily play as forwards. One of them will drop a little bit deeper and almost instinctively know when the other one is going to go. It's this kind of rotation and flexibility that really starts to make PSG quite dangerous. And when you start getting further up the pitch, it starts getting a little bit more fluid and more flexible, and it allows for that kind of dangerous attack. It brings a lot of uncertainty for the opposition, and that's where they get a lot of their promise from. Not to mention the fact that they're obviously amazing players. We have Vitinha here, and although he picks up the ball from Marco Verratti, I do think that he's going to be able to drift in and out of the game to allow for certain positions to be taken up. If I move them forward, I can show you now, because it's very difficult to just articulate what actually they do. But if we move all of these players forward, Pereira will be that stopgap just to make sure that they're not overcommitting forwards. You've got Hakimi and Mendes on these sides, and they're going to spread the play very, very far. This is going to bring and give a lot of space for the likes of Ruiz and Verratti. Goretzka will do exactly the same, and all of a sudden you can see the space that Vitinha has in the middle of the park. He can then decide to either play a pass through, past Upamecano, or pass to Lionel Messi or Neymar, who I have also said have the ability to drop that little bit deeper into space. The Messi, when he drops into that space, will know that Neymar will try to make a run, and vice versa. They'll be looking for each other. They've played with each other for a very long time, and they know each other's game. So it's going to be a very fluid and tactical system, and I don't think you're going to see too many main positions apart from the likes of Pereira, Ruiz and Verratti, who will maintain their shape to try and keep PSG structure going forwards. But it's the front three that is really, really flexible. I think Vitinha is going to start to make some runs for the likes of Neymar and Messi just to open up that space a little bit more, and it's that flexibility, like I've said, that's going to cause so many problems for Bayern Munich. Right, if we move all of these back, we can talk about Bayern Munich and how I expect them to go forwards and how I expect them to attack, because it's very, very different to the way that PSG are going to set up. Bayern Munich are very much a more rigid system. They are a more rigid line. Obviously, we have the new addition of Joao Cancelo into the side. Jan Sommer is come in for Manuel Neuer as he's obviously injured. Upamecano and De Ligt make those two centre-back spaces, and then we have Alphonso Davies out on this left-hand side. Up forward past them, you'll have Joshua Kimmich and Leon Goretzka, and they both will hold for a specific base into that midfield. Going away from home, I expect Bayern Munich to be a little bit more reserved than they would be at home. them, and that's why I think they'll play 2 holding central defensive midfielders who have the ability to go forwards, don't get me wrong, but they do have some very, very good defensive capabilities, specifically Joshua Kimmich. We move forwards and we have Leroy Sané and Gnabry, who I think will be the ones starting. I do think that Kingsley Coman has really played himself into contention, and that was a sticking point for me at the moment. I wasn't sure whether to put Gnabry in or whether to put Kingsley Coman. I've gone with Gnabry, but I can very much easily see Coman. The formation and the system will not change all too much depending on the players that get put in, so just bear that in mind. We have Muller up front, and then we have the wonder kid himself, Jamal Musiala, who is an absolute talent. How did Bayern Munich set up? Well, they'll set up in a more progressive manner and more direct manner. They'll look for the passes to Gnabry and Sane really, really quick, allowing them to try and make those driving runs into space. When this happens, they'll likely cut inside and then allow the fullbacks, whether it's Cancelo or whether it's Alphonso Davies, to really start supporting them. Again, utilising that width, but in a different way. I think you're going to see far more crosses from the byline going into the PSG area than you would from PSG. And I do think that one of the main points of this is going to be the supportive play from Leon Goretzka and Joshua Kimmich, who are going to be taking up positions around about Fabio Ruiz and Verratti. If I move them forward as well, I can show you how it's going to really line up. So when they go forwards, it's going to be something like this, allowing for that defensive pressure to be let off them and allow them to go forwards. Now, when we've got them in this formation, PSG are obviously defending, we have the likes of Gnabry able to take on Hakimi and try to win that duel. The same goes for Nuno Mendes and Leroy Sané, who will want to cut inside, by the way, and play a shot either onto goal or try to make a look for a run for Muller, who will be obviously trying to dart in and out of that penalty area to try and create some kind of space. The real linchpin for me in this game is Jamal Musiala on the Bayern Munich side. We'll talk about PSG in just a second. But Musiala is an absolute talent. The way he close controls the ball at his feet with such finesse is extremely entertaining to watch, and he just drives at players. He glides on the pitch, and he has a very, very good knack for finding space at the right moment in the right time. Alphonso Davies and Joao Cancelo are going to be absolutely crucial in this scenario, because Bayern Munich are going to seriously rely on them to make massive, massive runs either into the channels or through the middle of the pitch. If you see the lines that I'm drawing here, they'll make that run in between the centre-back and the full-back to allow Sane or Gnabry to hold their width out on this flank. It's all about moving the PSG players out of position and getting them to really start engaging further away from the centre of the area. This will allow the likes of Leon Goretzka and Joshua Kimmich to start driving forwards, and driving forwards is exactly what they will do once they realise that they're in a comfortable system of possession, and it allows them to really drive ahead, allows Musiala to get into the box, and that's where Bayern Munich can get a lot of their chances. Move PSG out of the area and then start driving in the middle, almost through the heart of PSG once they've really uncovered and moved around the PSG players in their particular positions. So, who do I think are going to be the main players in this game? Who are the players to really look out for? Well, I've already mentioned that Jamal Musiala is an absolute talent, and I do think that he is the player to watch for Bayern Munich. The way that he really drifts forward and likes to pick up the ball in close, tight-knit spaces, but also his ability to really drive forwards without the ball and also find pockets of space is something that I think is going to cause PSG a lot of problems. So watch out for that. On the PSG side, who do I have to look at? I've got to say it has to be Lionel Messi. The player that is going to be extremely sensational, the World Cup winner. He is going to be able to pick the pass that is probably going to change this game. If it's not Lionel Messi, because I've heard of recent and of late that he might be injured, I do think that Neymar will obviously play a massive part in this game. He tends to drift into games and really hold out into this space. If we talk about Neymar just a little bit specifically, I do think that he's going to do a brilliant job at just holding here. And why here? Well, he's going to hold here because he likes to, believe it or not, just move outside of the box, and he likes to actually play people in more often than not. He knows he's going to get runners from Vitinha, he knows he's going to get runners from Ruiz, and it's just waiting for him to be able to play that pass either into that channel or through and past him. He gets himself into the air, and he's also got those dancing feet which allows him to get a shot off whenever he needs to. It's this change in this quality that Neymar has proven time in, time out, and time again that he's just so good. So he's my player to watch for PSG. Musiala is my player to watch for Bayern Munich. So the only question remaining is, how is this game going to pan out? Well, being that PSG are at home, as I said, I think that Bayern Munich are going to want to really start to be on a level edge and not go too crazy, not go to attacking. So I do think they're going to be a little bit more conservative. That being said, I do expect PSG to really go for it and want to try and get the win. For some reason, I can expect a draw. I don't think that both these sides really have anything properly going for them. They both have dropped points in their own leagues, and they both don't really have standout performance who are red hot on form right now. So for me, I've gone for a 2-2, a 1-1, something like that. There will be goals in this game, but I don't think you'll find an out-and-out winner. Overall, it's going to be a fantastic match, so check it out if you can. That's it for today, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave the video with a like and subscribe if you haven't for more content like this coming very soon. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well. You don't want to miss what's coming up in the near future, and let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. Who have you got winning? Who do you think will be the standout performance, and who do you think will be progressing overall in the tie? Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. But like I said, that's it from me for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, my friends, take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.